Good morning, and welcome to IUP's opening ceremony for academic year 2021. I'd like to give a special welcome to those who are joining us virtually this morning. Welcome to our community members. Welcome to the IUP retired community. Welcome to our alumni. Welcome to the members of our supporting boards, which include the Alumni Foundation, the Co-op, the Research Institute, and of course, welcome to the members of our Council of Trustees. I'm Tim Moerland, IUP's Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it's my privilege to lead off this morning. Opening day at IUP has become one of my very favorite traditions. Normally, this room, the auditorium in Fisher Hall, is filled with people, but today it's empty, except for those of us who are speaking and those of us who are helping with tech and staging. Although we're apart, we're still held together by our connections to IUP and by our commitment to the most important part of what we do every day, and that is, of course, our students. This is the 8th time I've had the privilege to give the Provost comments for opening day. I look back at my notes for the very first opening day remarks I gave, which was back in 2013. Among other things, it appears that I wondered about the adequacy of IUP's use of instructional technology. I asked, and I quote, "Have we embraced digital reality in our classes and in our curriculum?" There are many examples on campus of simply beautiful and innovative moves along these lines, but there also are many opportunities to go further. Let's go there. Yes, IUP went there. So did you know it turns out that many cultures have sayings that at first appear to be bland best wishes or some sort of a kindly benediction, but in reality, these sayings are powerful curses. One of these benedictions/curses is, "May you find what you're looking for." A variation on that theme is, "Be careful what you wish for. It may just come true." And all I can say is I'm really, really sorry for what I said in 2013. IUP did embrace what I then called digital reality. IUP did go further. Of course, we came to that digital proficiency the hard way. It wasn't the gentle, thoughtful path we would have preferred. We got here out of stark necessity, by dedication, and by simple, good, hard work. And what we did was remarkable. Literally overnight, we pivoted from predominantly face-to-face instruction to remote delivery. It was a remarkable effort that brought together incredible, passionate, and gifted people. It included IT, it included instructional design, it included the Center for Teaching Excellence, it included colleagues who had experience in online teaching, sharing with their colleagues. It included our facilities and our crews and our custodians, and it was every single person in the IUP family. We finished the semester, we finished the academic year, and then over the summer that we are just ending, we polished our tools. Our instructional design experts and faculty with online expertise offered the Summer Academy. That and the similar efforts that followed have helped many of you translate your courses to high-quality learning experiences that don't need to be delivered face-to-face. This just shows what we can do when we work together. It shows how capable we at IUP are. There's another one of those benediction curses. This one is especially appropriate. It says, "May you live in interesting times." I don't know who it was that brought this one down on us. I know it wasn't me this time. However, I do have some suspicions. But yes, we are in interesting times. We have some very real challenges. Let's start with demographics. The number of traditional college-age students has gone down, and this has brought to IUP and other institutions around us enrollment declines. Enrollment declines begat financial concerns, and so on. Next, the Pennsylvania state system is in the midst of an incredibly important and very high-stakes system redesign. We're part of a system. We are linked together. We are not isolated. More broadly, we in higher education know that this is a watershed moment. We wonder what will come next. Then there's the COVID-19 pandemic, the reason that we're not together in this room this morning. I don't think I need to say anything more about that, except to maybe wax nostalgic and remember when people wearing masks were the bad guys. Let's turn completely around. Don't be a bad guy. Those are the challenges that visit us here in our IUP lives, but of course there are outside challenges that are just as real and very important. I rather think that each of us, regardless of our political sympathies, are shocked by the political divide that seems to threaten the very core of society. We worry about what will come next. And not unrelated, we are in a new awakening of the need for real and lasting racial justice. We worry that change won't come fast enough or be deep and durable. The list goes on. We could include climate change and the need for better environmental stewardship. We worry about the world that our children and our students will live in the years to come. Those are our shared challenges. Those are the things in our collective worry bucket. So what do we at IUP have to put up against all this? Obviously, we at IUP, those of us here in Indiana, are not going to solve everything. What we can do, however, is our very best. We have the power of choice. We have the knowledge that actions make difference. And as members of the IUP community, we have the calm confidence that comes from knowing we are capable of achieving remarkable things when we work together. We've shown this over and over. That thing we did in March, that's an example. Those are the types of things that form the basis for our confidence. The pivot from face-to-face to remote instruction, yes, other institutions did something similar, but don't forget, there are institutions that did not make the transition. And there are institutions that did make the transition but were mortally wounded in the process. IUP survived, and not just survived. We are a stronger place because of our ability to meet the needs of our students in a manner that is more far-reaching than it was before. And arguably, we made that transition with a dash of style and substance that was notably absent elsewhere. So what do we have to put up against all the things that make these times interesting? We have the confidence that comes from being part of IUP. I think everyone knows that things tend to come in group of three. And yes, I'm afraid that there's a third curse. This one is, may you be recognized by people in high places. Sometimes that is phrased as, may you attract the attention of the government. I think this one comes from a time long ago when a smart person would avoid notoriety by any means possible. As in, coming to the attention of someone powerful probably meant that you had an upcoming date with something unpleasant, like a dungeon or an executioner. The warning in this curse is that to survive, you have to keep low, you have to be pleasant. You have to stay out of the limelight, don't make waves, out of sight, out of mind, meek, mild, safe. Nuts. Horse hockey, cow cookies, pony pucks. This is not the time to be quiet or complacent. The world needs what higher education brings to society, and this need is sharper now than it ever has been. IUP is one of the best to help meet that need, and that's not just in-house bragging. That's what others say about us. Even if we wanted to duck attention, we're simply too good to not be noticed. And even if we wanted to duck attention, it's almost a certainty that someone will say the words and invoke the curse. So let's just saddle up and get on with it. Let's go loud, let's go proud. Let's face this year with the confidence that we have earned. Let's face this year with the knowledge that our students, our staff, our faculty, and our alumni are going to accomplish things that will bring good and well-deserved attention to IUP and the things that IUP's people do. So let's ring in the new year and celebrate the strength of IUP. Thank you, everyone. And it's my pleasure now to introduce our next speaker, who's Dr. David Piper. Dr. Piper is a faculty member in Employment and Labor Relations and is the chair of our University Senate. Dr. Piper.
Thank you, Dr. Moerland. And I was not responsible for COVID-19, but I appreciate the sentiment. Good morning, IUP. It's great to be somewhat back here this semester. There's something different this year than compared to the last 6 times that I have spoken at this event. For one thing, I think this could be the first year ever that Amy Cook hasn't stuck her tongue out at me when she saw me on stage. So that's one good thing. I do have to say that over the past few days, there has been several angsts brought about as we prepare ourselves to come back. First, I'd like to thank Craig Bickley for a little bit of tense times yesterday in my home when the amorous relationship policy came out. My wife came home from work and said, "Honey, does this mean we have to get a divorce?" And I said, no, it's not that way. We've already been married, so we're grandfathered, and we don't have a supervisory relationship, so we're able to stay married. She said, "Oh, okay." Now, I'm not sure if that was relief in her voice or disappointment. I guess we'll have to figure that out. As I mentioned, my name is Dave Piper, and I am the Senate Chair for the 2020-2021 academic year. As the Senate Chair, it is my job to guide the shared governance model here at IUP. The Senate meets the first Tuesday of each month, with the exception of September, and it is through the committees of the Senate that all of IUP's voice is heard. The Senate is open to everyone, and I encourage all faculty, staff, administrators, and students to be involved with the Senate. Our Senate is unique in the PASHI system because in our Senate, we have representative voices from all stakeholders across the campus: faculty, staff, administrators, and students. To show just how important this shared governance model is, before the beginning of this event, I went to the president and the provost and suggested that maybe somebody should be a spokesperson at this meeting for all the potential questions regarding IUP's reopening plan. And they agreed. To decide who the spokesman would be on stage, we first thought about rock, paper, scissors, but that would likely take too long. The president suggested, well, why don't we just draw straws? So we drew straws, and the president picked the smallest straw. But in a loophole that I was unaware of, the president exercised his presidential scissors clause and cut my straw shorter than anybody else's. So as a result, I will be here this morning answering all questions from the audience here in Fisher Auditorium regarding IUP's fall reopening plan. So with that, I will open up questions to the audience. Are there any questions? Yes, you in the maroon shirt. I'm sorry, that's an auditorium chair. I apologize. No. All right, well, let's move on. Now, I'm guessing that the virtual audience is split into 3 or more groups, maybe more. Some of you might be smirking or laughing behind your monitor. Some of you might think that my derriere is very intelligent, and think about that for a little bit. And then maybe others may be thinking, I knew I should have gone to Fisher. Regardless of your mindset right now, let me just say this. This year will be unlike any other year at IUP. COVID-19 has entangled us in ways no one could have imagined. Couple this with the uncertainty of system redesign, and quite frankly, folks, we have the ingredients of creating one monstrous roller coaster ride many of us would prefer not to be on, even if it was in Disney World. Now, I know what you're thinking. COVID-19 is a political ploy. Well, I had the same thoughts, but then I did some research. You see, Chancellor Greenstein's academic background is in history and not germ warfare, so there can be no truth to the rumor that COVID-19 was created to jumpstart system redesign. What is truthful, though, is that because of COVID-19 and the financial implications thrust upon our university, it seems system redesign will be implemented sooner rather than later. What does this mean? Well, change is likely going to happen. And for those of you that think one person can't change the world, I refer to you to COVID-19 patient 1. That individual changed the world. It means that we are in the midst of unprecedented times here at IUP and in our country. COVID-19 is changing our lives daily. Let's face it, life right now is very different than what we have all been used to. For me personally, values that have been the foundation of my life don't necessarily work for me right now. For instance, on many occasions, my dad would sit me down and say, son, my dad always thought I was really bright because he kept calling me son. The way you succeed in this world is by building relationships. Go meet people, shake their hands, and don't be socially distant to anyone. Well, that worked up until March 2020. Now I'm required by my employer and my government to be socially distant, to stay 6 feet away from everyone. My mother also gave me some sound advice. She would say, Dave, whatever you do, don't ever go into a bank wearing a mask. Again, this worked up until March. But now I can't go into a bank without wearing a mask. And finally, this 6 feet apart issue. This is going to be a lot of fun. Have you ever tried hugging your grandkids while still being 6 feet apart? It requires very long arms. Life is complicated right now. Situations I thought unheard of in years past are happening, and nothing brings this example to the forefront more than the cancellation of in-person commencement at IUP. To the class of 2020, I want to extend my congratulations to all of you, and I want to apologize that this pandemic forced the university to make alternate arrangements. You deserve the recognition for your accomplishments. And it is my hope that when we are able to meet face-to-face, you have the opportunity to come back to IUP and walk across that stage with your family cheering you on. You see, it's at times like this that I count myself thankful that I am not an administrator, but rather a tenured faculty. Because for me, being a tenured faculty gives me the right to complain. It gives me the right to second-guess decisions that are being made. But thankfully, here at IUP, I saw a very different side of our employees when this pandemic hit in March, which gave me hope that we can beat COVID-19 and excel through system redesign. What I saw happen had to put a smile on the chancellor's face as well, when in about a week's time, this campus turned on a dime and shifted typical face-to-face instruction into a hybrid learning experience in a week. We had faculty, staff, administrators all working on the common goal of fundamentally changing the way IUP worked, the way IUP taught, the way IUP interacted, all to educate the students of this university. And we succeeded to the best of our abilities, given the challenges we are facing. Faculty worked together and in concert with others to help those who hadn't used the new technology that was available to them. We put together a summer academy to help train folks on different learning platforms. We changed IUP, and the hope is we will be better as a result. Let's continue that path. Please get involved. Attend your union meetings. Become a senator. Be the best ambassador you can be for IUP. Be the reason students want to come to this university. The only way to navigate these troubled waters is for everyone at this institution to be rowing in the same direction. Sometimes positive things happen as a result of negative situations. COVID-19 may have been the nudge needed to get this change started. So for that, COVID-19, I would like to thank you for the motivation. But don't take this the wrong way. Now, we don't want you anymore. COVID-19, let me be clear, you are not welcome on IUP's campus. You are not welcome in Indiana County. You are not welcome in the state of Pennsylvania. And for that matter, you can leave the United States and the world. I will have the University Senate pass a policy forbidding you on this campus if that's what it needs to take. I've done some checking. You are not an alum of IUP. You've not contributed any money to our foundation for IUP. You are not a trustee. You have not been hired as an employee. You have not been admitted as a student. My goodness, you haven't even inquired about the many programs we have on this campus. You have not purchased a meal plan, nor do you occupy a dorm room. And finally, COVID-19, I have checked with my wife. You do not even have a library card. So COVID-19, stay away from us. We don't want you here anymore. Last year, Dr. Moerland challenged me to end my speech with a limerick instead of a poem this year. I'm not very good at limericks, but I always try to please the provost because he holds the purse strings to my department. So Dr. Moerland, this is for you, the first ever David Piper limerick. PASCUF wants system redesigned to thrive, while COVID-19 is still alive. We have all the tools. Our employees are no fools. Once again, IUP will survive. I wish you the best for a great academic year, and if we work together, we will all be better at the end of this turmoil. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you a little bit closer than 6 feet away, and I wish you all a great semester. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Piper. For a first-time limerick, not bad at all. And it's been a real pleasure to share this stage with you for these past 6 years. And it's with great pleasure that I welcome and introduce our next speaker, who is Dr. Erika Frenzel. Dr. Frenzel is a faculty member in the criminology department at IUP, and she serves as president of the IUP chapter of the Association of Pennsylvania State College and University Faculties. Welcome, Dr. Frenzel.
Good morning, colleagues, students, and community members joining us virtually. And to my boys at home, I promised I would do that. I don't know why they made me follow you. It's not fair. I should have, had the opportunity to decide when I would be speaking. I'd like to extend my welcome to the 2020-21 academic year. Our normal has shifted quite a bit, and I must say that speaking to an empty auditorium might just be a little bit easier than a full one, although it is a little odd looking out over empty seats. But on to my remarks. Inspire, sustainability plans, pandemic, retrenchment, uncertainty, frustration. I thought I would start off with all the hard words first. A year with discussions of program moratoriums, a 5-year sustainability plan with attrition leading to a balanced budget that was forced to become a 2-year sustainability plan, a student-faculty ratio set by the Office of the Chancellor at a ratio of an anomaly year, a pandemic resulting in the sudden shift to online learning and concerns about fall 2020, and a notice of possible retrenchment based on changes in finances. All on their own, these issues are concerning. Taken together in the time frame of a year and a summer, it is overwhelming and deflating. Morale is at a low. Inspire resulted in the process of evaluating all of the programs offered at IUP in 3 different phases, the result of which was the discontinuing of some programs, short and long-term moratoriums, the continuation of programs with a proposed plan in place, and redesign of other programs. The Office of the Chancellor called for universities to develop a plan to be sustainable within a 5-year time frame. The original plan was for simple attrition leading to a balanced budget. A shift occurred during the spring to a 2-year sustainability plan. In addition, the Office of the Chancellor called for increasing the student-faculty ratio to a level of an anomaly year. That would result in an increase from 16:1 to 20:1. There are only 2 ways to do that: increase student enrollment or reduce faculty complement. This prompted a letter of retrenchment from President Driscoll. Meet and Discuss has been meeting every 2 weeks since May to address the trauma of retrenchment. We are attempting to find alternatives and will continue to do so this fall. While management and APSCUF are approaching the topic from 2 different sides, the discussion, data, and information sharing has been constructive in nature. However, the student-faculty ratio is concerning and difficult to work around. The Chancellor has provided the year that was deemed most efficient without recognizing the anomaly that fall was, and without providing further explanation for its selection other than efficiency. Fall 2020 planning, whew. A good answer must be reinvented many times, from scratch. A quote by Richard Powers that seems fitting for this pandemic. Planning for fall 2020 became and is a moving target, with reinvention occurring multiple times. Shifting requirements from the CDC, PDE, and others have made planning difficult. Frustration at all levels was the result of the uncertainty. Although this has been extremely challenging, our focus has always been to keep students, the IUP community, and Indiana community safe. In addressing these concerns, I want to highlight and show my appreciation to those faculty who gave up their summer, often without contracts, participating in the Fall Planning Committee, University-wide Graduate Committee, University-wide Undergraduate Curriculum Committee, and Meet and Discuss, and any other committees active over the summer. This has been a summer of steep learning curves for me in my first 82 days of office, and yes, I've been counting. I'd like to personally thank the Meet and Discuss team, the Vice President of APSCUF, and the past President of APSCUF. Thank you for helping me along the way, and thank you for advocating for our faculty. The work of the few to the benefit of many. Let me take a quote credited to Albert Einstein and fashion it to our situation. Moments of adversity introduces us to ourselves. In this moment of adversity, what is IUP? We so often get lost in the negative, the uncertainty, the anxiety, the unknown, and the struggle. But what if we shifted that focus? I'm not asking that you forget all that we are facing in the upcoming year, or that you stop advocating. I am asking that you rephrase. Let me liken it to growing pains. We are entering hard and uncertain times, pain. But in that process, we, and please note that I am using the collective we, meaning all of IUP, have the ability to shape what IUP will be and can be, growth. But in order to shape what IUP will become, it takes action on the part of all of us. Can I take a moment to repeat that? In order to shape what IUP will become, it takes action on the part of all of us. Don't sit by and comment or criticize without action on your part. Don't demand action from the few without putting forth action on your own. You cannot be a part of the change without putting action behind your words. Be active, make your voice heard, provide service, and help others bring forth action. But most of all, keep the end game in mind. Our goal should always be making IUP the best place to work, to grow, to learn. The best place to find and build a community. We are and will be suffering pains, but in the end, we should grow. That growth goes beyond just numbers of enrolled students. It means a far better IUP. Let's move beyond pretty, motivating, or criticizing words and move towards action. But remember, with action must come mutual respect. Here I borrow the words of Senator Cory Booker. Give the respect you want to receive, embody the grace you hope to encounter, and help others with no expectations whatsoever. If we set out to become a community that grows through pains, it must be built on mutual respect, grace, and trust. I wish you all a happy and healthy 2021 academic year. Thank you.
Thank you, Erika. Our next speaker is Ms. Erin Fritz-Woods, who is Assistant Director of Financial Aid and President of the IUP chapter of the State College and University Professional Association. Welcome, Erin.
Good morning. Welcome to the start of the 2021 academic year. My name is Erin Fritz-Woods, SCUPA President at IUP and Assistant Director of Financial Aid. I am humbled and honored to be speaking on behalf of every individual I represent in the State College and University Professional Association known as SCUPA. We are talented, highly skilled, and compassionate professionals whose primary focus is helping students navigate this part of their life and find their own path. Being in this leadership role, I know for certain that SCUPA members are truly dedicated to the success of the IUP student. While often success can be hard to measure, I see colleagues across campus achieving success every single day. Working side by side with students, helping them envision their future, supporting their individual needs and dreams, providing supportive programming, and developing community engagement experiences. These are all small successes that lead to supporting the vision of IUP, of being part of the foundation for them to empower students to become innovative leaders while enhancing communities throughout the world. We don't just do our jobs. We breathe life into the positions. We achieve success by making things better, even through failures, setbacks, and this global pandemic. We get back up and we keep going stronger than before. That is who SCUPA is. That is who we are, and that is what we do. Author Simon Sinek states, regardless of what we do in our lives, our why, our driving purpose, cause, or belief never changes. This is the very heart of SCUPA. Our why never changes. We believe that each day is a chance to positively touch a life, a new day to impact the journey of a prospective student, current student, or alumna. Each day, we have been given an opportunity to share our gifts and talents with this community, to increase our spheres of influence that may continue for generations. We choose these positions, these career paths, because of the challenges that come with them. Because higher ed depends on continuing to learn and grow. My SCUPA colleagues, often behind the scenes, continue to find new and innovative ways to help each student find their path, to deliver smart solutions to a seemingly impossible task, and ultimately to help each student's journey be unique, but also a sense of belonging to our IUP family. As an alumna, my own student journey has been paved with successes because of these talented, caring, dutiful individuals here at IUP. As a first-generation college student, I attended IUP, which quickly illuminated my path to something great, which shone a light on my own success. I became a listener, a thinker, a learner, and a leader. These are student successes. These are employee successes, and these are IUP successes. My journey is not unique. SCUPA is full of stories just like mine. Those dedicated to their careers because of the education, mentorship, and student-centered mindset of individuals right here at IUP. Maya Angelou wrote, "I've learned that whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. I have learned that even when I have pains, I don't need to be one. I've learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. People love a warm hug or just a friendly pat on the back. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Amidst the challenges this year holds, let's be kind to one another, thoughtful and patient with one another. Let's continue the IUP way and help each other. If ever there was a year to do that, it's this year." Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. And our next speaker is Mr. Alex Fefolt. Alex is a student at IUP, which is a full-time job in itself. He also finds time to be president of IUP's Student Government Association, which in itself is another full-time job. And then he also is a member of the Pennsylvania State System Board of Governors. 3 in 1. Welcome, Alex.
President Driscoll, Provost Moerland, fellow speakers, and everyone watching online. I am honored to be given the opportunity to speak during today's ceremony to open the 2020-2021 academic year at IUP. While preparing my remarks, I spent some time watching past opening of the academic year ceremonies and the speeches that had been given by former students. And as I watched these speeches, it was easy to see what had made IUP special to our students. It was the relationships that students had developed with their professors and to their advisors who helped guide them in their journey at IUP as a mentor, not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. It was the time they had on campus, participating in clubs and activities, as well as getting real-world experience through internships, experiential learning, and opportunities to practice and promote their chosen craft in on-campus venues. And it was the IUP community, where they felt like they belonged and would belong after their time at college. All of these things are still true today and continue to make IUP a special place for our students, a place where they can grow and begin the next chapter of their lives with faculty, staff, and their fellow peers there to support them in that journey. In his inaugural address more than 7 years ago, President Driscoll captured this reality better than I ever could. He said, and I quote, "We must continue to provide the things that ensure productive learning by acknowledging our students, many the first in their families to seek higher education, are most successful because we are committed to face-to-face education." There is a place for online courses and degree programs, and we will expand our use of instructional technology to enhance learning and provide opportunity. But the best way to deliver a rigorous and truly complete education is through a residential experience on a traditional campus, with resources like libraries, advisors and mentors, and extracurricular activities and camaraderie among students. We learn and grow best in a community of scholars that provides common rallying points in and out of the classroom, end quote. How true. I applaud the tireless effort put in by all of you over the summer to fundamentally pivot this university. It would not have been possible to be where we are today, having some of our students on campus for an in-person experience, without your commitment, your passion, and your belief in the power of higher education. So I thank you all. But even in the midst of a pandemic, life goes on for the rest of us at home. And for many students, the opportunities missed while on a computer screen is unacceptable, especially when they struggle with the cost of their education. Their place is here, on campus, in an environment where they have access to services, faculty and staff, and different resources to help them succeed. We must always remember our mission as a public institution, which is to provide a high-quality education at an affordable cost. And just because the students we serve come from a variety of different backgrounds, we can never forget that many are here because we were one of only a few schools which they could afford to attend. There will be challenges ahead for all of us, but I believe in IUP and the work we do, and I look forward to meeting those challenges together. As we plan for the weeks and months ahead, and even more importantly, for the spring semester, let's remember the students which we serve, and keep them at the center of our decision-making always. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. And with pleasure, I announce the last speaker, who is IUP's president, Dr. Michael Driscoll.
Thank you for being with us this morning. This is a day I always look forward to, and I hope you do too. It is our New Year's Day. I am here in Fisher Auditorium, but you are not. I wish you were. In these unusual times, this really is an unusual way to begin our academic year. Because of the pandemic, rather than a festive event that sometimes ended with a song and a dance, Dr. Piper, stay in your seat, we are opening the academic year using a little technology and a lot of social distancing. The truth is, there isn't a lot of pomp today because of the circumstances. Our dog Bert has developed a new habit. Shortly after bedtime, Bert gets out of bed, goes into the closet, and sleeps on the floor in a safe spot under the hung-up clothes. If you didn't know where to look, you'd never find him. When we get up in the morning and call him, he doesn't come out. He's just not ready to face the day. I think many of us have felt like that on a lot of mornings in the last 5 months. I know I have. I wish I could spend my time with you this morning talking about only the good stuff, but I must talk about the challenges that color so much of our daily experience right now. There's pandemic and budget, and racism-fueled killings, and the descent of our society into divisiveness, name-calling, and hate. It's no wonder we want to hide in the closet and sleep until a better day dawns. Yet amid these horrors, I am proud to report that the good work has not been stopped here at IUP. Our students and faculty and staff continue to reach higher and continue to achieve more. Our alumni continue to make an impact around the world. And we as a university continue to be recognized for the good work we do every single day. Your strength and ability to persevere continue to fill me with awe and gratitude. IUP is a special place, and you are special people. We have been sorely challenged, but we have supported each other and risen above the challenges. This is IUP at its best, and this is just what we strive to do for each of our students. The pandemic has obviously changed everything. Our fall planning team, plus so many more people than I can name, have done an outstanding job of transitioning the traditional classroom experience into a solution involving the combination of face-to-face, hybrid, and remote learning, of supporting students wherever they are, and in figuring out how to work productively away from the office and from each other. The fall planning team is continuing to work, developing contingency plans, learning from our experience, and making plans for spring. In the ever-shifting war against the virus, there cannot be a perfect plan. But after a summer of listening, researching, organizing, and scheduling, I believe that if we continue to work together and look out for one another, we can be as safe as is possible without abandoning our sacred mission to educate students who will transform the world. Why do I believe this? I'll let an outside agency provide just one example. For the 20th consecutive year, IUP has been included in the Princeton Review's annual Best Colleges Guidebook. One of the many things we are singled out for is taking care of our students' physical and mental well-being, with a top 20 national ranking in the Best Health Services category. This shows that people outside our university are aware of the care and dedication we show our students, which is key during these tough times. The other obvious thing I need to talk about is division. We are at a time when it seems the need to be right, to be aligned with a winner, or to get likes on Facebook has become the end that justifies any means. And it has created lines of division that make it hard to find the common threads that weave us together. We are not a nation united, instead, a nation divided. Recent events have made that clear. From the pandemic to the killing of George Floyd and the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement, to the upcoming presidential election, everywhere you look, people are digging in their heels and taking sides rather than working together. It is okay to have different viewpoints on some things, but we should still be respectful of each other. We could accomplish a lot if we just listen. We can learn a lot that way too. Remember, that is why we are here. While it is okay to have differing opinions on many things, we must agree that racism, not just the person-to-person kind, but the systemic racism that has affected generations of Black and brown people, has no place at IUP, or anywhere for that matter. This summer, we spent time listening to our minority students. Through programs such as Building Bridges and Breaking the Barrier, we had honest discussions that were uncomfortable, and they taught us some harsh truths. We learned about Black and brown students who did not get the help they needed because they felt pushed aside, or that their opinion in class was not required, or that they felt unsafe just walking around our campus. We heard students say how from the day they arrived here, they felt like the deck was stacked against them. We have been working on diversity and inclusion initiatives for many years now, but these raw discussions helped us realize that all our students, despite what we think, are not given the equal opportunity to succeed here. That must stop. It is clear that we must make changes in the way our Black and brown students experience IUP. Standing united against a problem is not enough. Neither are hollow words or unkept promises. Programming and training are important, but our minority students deserve more. They deserve and rightly demand serious action now from each and every one of us. This is not a complex idea. It actually is very simple. It is about respect, empathy, and opportunity. If each of us will provide those three things, we will provide our students so much more. There is no room for those who say it is not their job. It is everyone's job to help our students, and that is not up for debate. That includes me and university leadership, and we have already started. In addition to listening to our students, we're going to walk in their shoes. Soon we will be taking tours of campus with some of our minority students to get a sense of what this place looks like to them. We want to know if something makes them feel unsafe or unwelcome, to learn what they see when they make their way around IUP. And we will change whatever we must to make this a welcoming home for them. We, together, and each of you, individually, must take action to change the culture of IUP. Let's dare to be different. Let's dare to be leaders of change by making our great university even greater, by ensuring all our students get the opportunity to make a life that will positively impact all others. Let's make this a watershed moment for IUP. Let's have thoughtful and respectful discussions, and let's have honest actions meant to create change. Let's work to strengthen our bonds and let the ripples from our actions grow into waves of unity. We can disagree on a lot of things, but we must be united in this action. In 2004, when I was a faculty member and administrator at Portland State University, Congressman John Lewis was our commencement speaker. I was mesmerized by his cadence, his presence, his message, and his passion. Now is your time to make some contribution to humanity, he said. Through your leadership, you must help build an all-inclusive world community based on simple justice that values the dignity of every individual. It's a community that I like to call the beloved community. Consider those two words. Beloved means not hateful, not violent, not uncaring, not unkind. And community means not separated, not polarized, not locked in struggle. And as he closed, he said something that fits our theme. We are one people. We are one family. Maybe our foremothers and our forefathers all came to this land in different ships, but we are all in the same boat now. I encourage each and every one of us to join in this effort. Do not wait for someone else to fix the problem. Listen to and learn from each other, yes, but then act. I do not say this lightly. I say it passionately. We can do this. We must do this. Starting this year, we are working under a new strategic plan. The University Planning Council has worked diligently to construct a compass that will guide us, and I am excited about its fundamental priority. In the last few years, we have been working hard on retention and persistence, diversity and inclusion, increasing scholarships, expanding our academic offerings, promoting outcomes, and general restructuring. And today, I am proud to say that because of that work, from now on, we are striving to be a student-centered university. What does that mean? It means that our goal is to transform the culture at IUP to enhance our students' experience by putting them first. We must see every student as the priority. We must see their success as our goal. This semester, the Hawks Q&A Center will open. Its purpose is to help any student with any question or concern. It might be a simple answer they seek, or it might be something that needs a lot of attention. Sometimes giving them a phone number or a URL might not be enough. Sometimes we must walk side by side with them, figuratively or literally if need be, as they receive the help they need, whether it is academic, financial, social, mental, or physical. We have also created the Guides program. From here on, each incoming freshman will be assigned a person on campus, a faculty or staff member, who has been trained to assist students, mentor them, and help them reach their full potential. I am so happy that so many of you have volunteered to be guides, and I thank you for the great work you are about to do. Our students are the future. They will lead the next generation and set the bar high with their successes. And so I'm excited to announce that we are going to show our belief in our students' potential by directing roughly $3 million to support every one of them with a one-time grant of $300. Our students are dealing with tough circumstances that nobody could have seen coming. Some of them have struggled to stay afloat. And this is a way to show that we care and that we are invested in their success. It is the right thing to do. The strategic plan is anchored by 7 core principles, with the top one being that every student is a priority. We will implement this using 5 impact areas that will ensure we give our students the best possible opportunity to be successful not only at IUP, but after they graduate. The University Planning Council is led by Scott Moore of the Department of History and Paula Stossel from the Division of Enrollment Management. And I thank Scott and Paula for their leadership, their attentiveness, their dedication, and their willingness to acknowledge the obstacles that stand between us and our goals. The journey to becoming a student-centered university will have some bumps in the road, but it will be worth it, not just for our students, but for all of us here now and for all who will follow in our path. During tough times, it is often difficult to know if you are making progress. So you need your friends to tell you that you're headed in the right direction. So I'm beyond excited and very, very grateful to report that we are this close to reaching the $75 million goal of our campaign for IUP, Imagine Unlimited. That our alumni and friends have brought us this far is a referendum on our work. It shows they believe in you and all that you are setting out to achieve here, and in our potential as a force for creating a better future. Their support helps us bolster our student-centered mission and prepares us well for our 150th anniversary coming in 2025. It will also help increase scholarships and contribute to the success of our students. Want some proof? In just 4.5 months, we have raised more than $276,000 from 678 donors for our Student Assistance Fund, which helps students who have immediate financial needs that prevent them from continuing their education. We have made almost 400 awards totaling $296,000. That is impressive. Our alumni and friends, as well as you and our students, continue to support our mission. And in April, we will celebrate crossing the campaign's finish line at our celebration of philanthropy. Because of our budget challenges, I know we are in a tense moment in our university's history. Enrollment is indeed down. Our state appropriation, although helpful, does not match our needs. This is a serious situation, and we cannot sustain our current spending model. Belt tightening is not enough, and we must fundamentally change how we operate. I know the decisions we must make are difficult and unnerving for each of us. Simply put, we must reinvent IUP. We must think differently and create the next generation of this great university. I know we can do this by working together with a single-minded focus on the success of our students. In July, the state legislature passed and the governor signed Act 50 into law. It gives the State System Board of Governors more short-term authority to restructure universities to ensure a sustainable future for all. The board has instructed the chancellor to complete financial analyses of 3 possible pairings: Clarion with California, Slippery Rock with Edinburgh, and Lock Haven with Mansfield, with Bloomsburg as a supporting player. In October, the board will hear the results of this first step and decide how to proceed. In Act 50, the legislature decided that IUP and Westchester will not be a part of these integration plans. This means our destiny is in our own hands. We just need to stay on our path and strive to do good work every day while we design our future. Act 50 also reinforces the ability for system universities to share their infrastructure to exploit efficiencies of scale. We are excited about the opportunity to help other universities and to benefit from their help. I want to wrap this up with some gratitude. I don't think a single member of the IUP family has had an easy time in the past 5 months. In just a few short weeks, we reversed course on almost everything we were doing. That alone is a remarkable feat, and it could not have been done without dedication and care from all of you. When I say we are working toward becoming a student-centered university, you must know you all have a vital role in this. You are the ones who will help ensure our students succeed, and in turn, that success will benefit us all. These are some difficult and unusual times. But from what I have seen in the past few months, I am certain we are capable of continuing our mission, and that better days, great days, lie ahead for us and for this great university. But perhaps the message is best reflected through the dog's eyes. These are difficult times, but if the pack pulls together, we, and Bert, will get through this and to better days. I wish you more than luck as we kick off this academic year. I wish you great success and fulfillment. Thank you for all you have already done and for what you will be doing as we begin another year of changing the world, one student at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, President Driscoll. And thank all of you who have joined us this morning. We wish you the very best year to come, full of reward, a safe year, and a successful year. This concludes our program.